Hi divers, Alec Peirce again. Sea Hunt Remembered. Another little bit of trivia about Sea Hunt and about my collection, considered the largest in the world. I'm just trying to get you interested in Sea Hunt. There's a good reason for that. It was a fantastic TV show. Millions and millions of divers, probably your buddies, your instructors, were all influenced by Sea Hunt. And also, I really enjoy collecting Sea Hunt memorabilia. Maybe you will too. Today I want to talk about another one of the original 13 comics, Sea Hunt comics, published by Dell here in North America. I'm going to, this particular Sea Hunt Remembered episode, I want to talk about Sea Hunt issue number 6. This is issue number 6. It's an exciting issue, first of all. I think you can see it there. Good old Mike Nelson, he's climbing a rope ladder. And you know, when I was 10, 11, 12 years old, and Sea Hunt was just out, and it was the most exciting thing in my life at the time, I would look at this and Mike, he's sneaking up, because it's nighttime, he's sneaking up the back of a ship. He's going to get up there and find the bad guys and take care of things. Mike will do that. Hurry up, Mike, you've only got a half an hour. And I was really, really into it, and it's influenced me a great deal. 58 years later, I'm still scuba diving, and largely because of this show. What's so special about Sea Hunt number 6? Well, not much. Great comic. At that particular time, Sea Hunt number 6 was still 10 cents. They even said still 10 cents. I guess that was a big deal by Dell, and you know, it was a lot of money in those days. This particular issue is a good one. It's a black cover, like the first issue. We talked about that a while ago, and it's in good shape. The black cover comic books get badly worn. They get white and cracked and broken. This is in pretty good shape. On the back, it has one of those picture stories that I mentioned when I talked earlier about comic number 1. A picture story. This one's called Treasure of the Seas, and it talks about the various things that are special about underwater and explains about that. A neat little story on the back. And this, otherwise, it's a pretty typical Sea Hunt comic. The inside front cover was a story about Sea Hunt, about some of the upcoming episodes of Sea Hunt on TV. This particular comic is called Treasure of the Mayas. Obviously, Mike Nelson is going to be going down into Mexico, into Mayan territory for various reasons. I remember this issue. As I recall, he gets attacked by piranha and the various other things and bad guys. It's all the same exciting episode. At the end of the episode, in the middle of the book, there's a story. It's actually a printed text story. This one's called Shadow of Danger. It talks about a giant manta ray that goes over top of a diver. It's a pretty neat story. All exciting stuff. Remember, I was 10 years old, just getting started in diving. Then the second episode, called The Fisherman's Feet. This was also a Sea Hunt, not a Sea Hunt episode, but it involved Mike Nelson. There he is, Mike Nelson, on the telephone, trying to figure out what's going on. Where's the problem here? Are the kids lost? And is it plane? All that kind of stuff. He was really so exciting in those days. And at the very back, the inside back portion had another bit about Sea Hunt. An episode called The New Frontier in black and white, and Hot and Cold Running Water with Sea Hunt. All very, very neat. These were exciting comic books for a 10-year-old kid. So why is this special to me? Well, let me show you this one first of all. This is exactly the same issue, exactly the same, came out at exactly the same time, still 10 cents, everything is exactly the same. If I flip through this issue, you'll find this is a little better shape. You notice it's not cracked as much, it hasn't been read very much. You'll find it's exactly the same until you get again to the outside back cover. Remember the picture story? And then this particular one, this copy has an advertisement from Daisy BB guns. And a very neat commercial about Daisy BB guns. So they have the real sound and the different ones and the price. You buy a gun for $14. And you can actually do it by mail order and get a book by mail order. And I remember this from the Daisy ads from years ago. It said, great gun, a lot of fun. And then it always said, ask Dad. He had one. And it's probably true. He had a Daisy, it's probably true. And so it's kind of a neat ad. And we talked, and when I talked about comic number 1, I talked about the fact that these comics often came out with different back covers, depending on the market. So obviously, the Daisy Air Rifle Company wanted this particular ad to go out into, I don't know, let's pick a market. Let's say they wanted this ad to go out into California. Okay, that's probably a good state to advertise Daisy air rifles, but they didn't want to pay the money to have their ad on all the other comic books that would be going out to Chicago and New York and Canada and Florida. They didn't want to pay for this ad to go on all those other ones. So Dell Publishing had this picture story that they put in place of the Daisy ad for all the other markets. You understand? This was called a variant. So they're, you know, if you're a real collector, you have to have them both. They're different, you know? And it's an interesting story. So you can't just get comic number 6. You have to get comic number 6, then you have to get the variant. Pretty neat, huh? So that makes it kind of interesting. Now, again, here we go. I'm sick. My wife says so all the time. My collecting is sick, so I have to go a little bit farther, and I have to have something a little extra. So let me tell you a little story. Here's a picture. I'm going to go over to this light over here, Kevin, see if you can swing over here and get this picture. Let me take this comic with me so we can talk about it. Okay, look at here. Now there's a photograph. This is an actual, I think they call them transparencies. This is the photograph. And that's obviously Lloyd Bridges, Mike Nelson. That's obviously, he's got the mask on, he's got the regulator on, he's climbing the same rope ladder. Okay? That's the same picture, isn't it? No, it's not the same picture. It's close. Mike Nelson, rope ladder, all, you know, but it's obviously he's looking at the different pose, right? Because what they used to do, here's what they would do. When they wanted to make a new issue, they would arrange for Lloyd Bridges to come out, and they would dress him up and put him into a scenario. In this particular case, a rope ladder for some reason. They chose that. That looks interesting. And they would take a bunch of pictures. A whole bunch. No, not just one or two. They'd take maybe a half a dozen pictures, good pictures of Mike Nelson doing something. In this case, involved with the rope ladder. So this is one, and this is another one. And there's probably more out there. Hint, you collectors, there's probably more. They wouldn't just take 2. So then they would take all these transparencies back to the studio, back to where they print, to the publishing company, and they would say, okay, here's your 6 photographs of Mike Nelson. Which one of these 6 do you want on the front cover? You see, they would go through them all. And they would pick the one they wanted. For this particular issue, number 6, they picked this picture. Obviously, it's on the issue. This is the picture they picked. I think it's a good idea because it's a heck of a lot more exciting. This is, no, it's Mike Nelson. It's not exciting. This is exciting, this picture. So they picked this particular picture, and then it went to the editor, the printer, and finally it was issued with this particular picture. This picture wasn't used. So what happened to this picture? Well, it went into the garbage. Yeah, gone. How do I have it? There only was one. Well, I guess I'm just lucky. I work extra hard. But again, a hint to you collectors, there's probably more of those out there. That's right, because it wouldn't take just 2 of them. They probably took a few of them. So if you're able to get a hold of an issue number 6 in good condition, then the next step is to get the variant, 2 different back covers, right? And the next step is to see if you can find one of those transparencies that's related. What would be kind of neat would be to find the transparency that they used. I don't know exactly the process, but I suspect that transparency is not available. I suspect it's very rare, meaning it doesn't exist. That's rare, because it was used. I think most it was used, it was of no value. No, it couldn't be used again. I don't really know for sure, but it's gone. But even having the transparencies from the same photo shoot for this particular issue, to me, is pretty exciting. I think it's pretty neat. Again, my wife says I'm sick. But anyway, there you go. Issue number 6, variant, and one of the transparencies from the Lloyd Bridges, Mike Nelson photo shoot. Hope you found that interesting. I think it's pretty neat, and hope it made you interested in Sea Hunt, and in Mike Nelson, and in maybe starting your own collection. Keep those comments coming. I just love them. Talk to you soon. Alec, Peirce, Sea Hunt Remembered.